know when you're lounging around your Airbnb and you're like, I could really use a screen bigger than the TV that they have. Or when you're traveling and you need to get a good night's sleep, but it's just a little bit hard for you to get good rest on the road. Well, we've got some travel tech that can make both of those dreams come true. And in this video, we're going to share it with you. Because the best tech doesn't get in the way, it makes for a smoother journey and an overall better time. So if you're ready to make your next trip better, let's start by cleaning up your nightstand clutter. This folding charger is for you if you plug in everything overnight, but you don't want slow charging when you have to top up your devices midday. Instead of packing a mess of cables for your phone, AirPods, and Apple Watch, you can just charge everything in one spot. That'll get your phone pretty hot, so there's a built-in fan to keep it from overheating and save your battery over time. The fan is quiet, but you can turn it off if you don't want a slight humming noise while you're trying to fall asleep. But you never know, you might not need to pack a sleep machine if this thing does it for you. It gets an iPhone 17 to 60% and an Apple Watch to 80% in just 30 minutes, which is key if you're only back at your hotel for a quick afternoon rest. Charge your AirPods behind the adjustable phone stand and put your phone in sleep mode at night for an alarm clock. You can choose between a few plug styles depending on where you live, but you can't opt for Android over Apple. If you have Samsung Galaxy Gear instead, check out the Evolved Chargers MagFold Pro Qi 2. It's a little bit fatter, but otherwise does the same thing. If you have trouble sleeping while you travel, then these earbuds can help. And no, you don't need to find a white noise track on YouTube. Sometimes it's hard to rest in an unfamiliar place, but the NextSense Smartbuds have EEG sensors to track your natural sleep rhythms. Like if you did a sleep study, which these earbuds kind of give you the same data. Let me explain. They use adaptive sounds to deepen slow waves, which is when you get the most restorative sleep. The pink noise pulses sync up with your brain, helping you recover from the day's activities and hit the ground running the next day. That's where the sleep study comes in. If you use them regularly, you'll get tracking insights on the app. Instead of relying on a watch or a ring to measure your heart rate and determine your sleep quality from there, the sensors monitor your brain activity. That tells you how much rest you're getting, how long you were awake, and how long you were in the deep sleep zone. Hopefully, as you monitor your trends, you'll see your sleep start to improve, or you can at least pin down why you're not getting as good of sleep as you thought you were. I'm a side sleeper, so it took me a couple nights to get used to sleeping in them, but I tried a few different tip and wing sizes, and I found a combo that works for me. The hook in the medium and large size add a ton of security, but my tiny ears were best suited for the small without the hook. I've noticed that they hold onto earwax pretty easily, but NextSense has a subscription to send you fresh tips and wings monthly. Do you need to track your sleep? Maybe not. But I noticed that I fall asleep much faster with the available soundscapes, and there are a ton to choose from. Plus, they work like regular headphones, so you can use them all day too. They're just more comfortable to sleep in than traditional earbuds. Pretty much everyone's phone is in a case, right? It's the best way to protect the thing that you carry with you everywhere. And honestly, the people who don't have their phone in a case are just built different. They're way more confident than I will ever be. You used to have to get a really chunky case to get decent protection, but not anymore. The Peak Design NAR case is our current go-to because it's designed to protect your phone from a 15-foot drop without breaking, but it doesn't add bulk. I'm thinking about those OG OtterBox cases, which had a feature that this case does too, the port plug. Say that 10 times fast. It covers the hole to stop dust, lint, sand, and dirt from getting in. The rest of the case is made with recycled polycarbonate, which is the same material used to make your roller bag lightweight yet durable. The diamond pattern edges are easier to grip than a slippery phone, too, so you're less likely to drop it anyway. Plus, the NAR case connects magnetically to all of Peak Design's mobile accessories, as well as other MagSafe gear. Its built-in slim link magnets feel really strong and secure, whether you're snapping on a wallet or a tripod. The case also includes mounting points for the Peak Design Anker, so you can carry your phone on a strap instead of needing another bag. Unfortunately, the NAR case is still pretty new, so it's only offered in a few different phone models at this time. If you have a different phone, Peak Design has some other cases, or you can get a universal adapter for non-MagSafe phones. None of the items we've talked about so far will work well if you can't plug them in at the end of the day. So if you're traveling internationally, you'll need another accessory, like this thin travel adapter from TESSAN. It's a 20-watt adapter that lets you plug in accessories pretty much anywhere in the world. However, it might not be strong enough to get your laptop back up to full power if you let it die. 20 watts is too slow for that, so you'll have to use the AC plug on the front. For most other devices, choose between one USB-A and two USB-C ports on its face. I like them here instead of on the bottom because I've stayed a few places where the outlet is too close to the table and I don't have enough room to plug in my cords underneath. I'm talking like a centimeter or two of clearance. That was my biggest beef with the Anker Nano. We like it, but its ports are on the bottom and it only works with two-prong chargers. You can use 3 prongs with the TESSAN. Just keep in mind that it's not a voltage converter, so you'll need to use dual voltage devices. Hair dryers, steamers, that type of thing. The 20 watt is split between the ports when you plug in more than one item, so keep that in mind before wondering why it's taking so long for your phone to recharge. The USB-A port tops out at 18 watts, so use a USB-C when you can for the fastest speeds. Like most travel wall chargers of this size, you're sacrificing power for packability. TESSAN makes some that are more powerful, but they're also chunkier, so they don't fit as well inside of your bag. Sure, some airlines pass out free headphones before takeoff so you can take advantage of the free entertainment, but that keeps you tethered to the back of the chair, and that's if you get them at all. Since you probably already packed your wireless earbuds, use them with the 12 South AirFly Pro 2 Deluxe to connect to the seatback entertainment. It plugs into the headphone jack and transmits to your headphones with Bluetooth. If you want to watch a movie with a friend, you can connect 2 pairs at once. Then, when the person in the window seat needs to get up and use the bathroom, you won't have to unplug your entire setup just to let them pass by. It works with your tablet or laptop too, as long as they have a headphone jack. Then you and your travel companion can watch the same content without streaming it on your own device. Just keep in mind that some devices now will let you pair 2 headphones, so you might not need this, but if you do, it does work with that. The Pro 2 Deluxe adds a few new features that the original base model lacked. You can adjust the volume right on the AirFly instead of the screen, and there are now 2 pairing buttons, so it's easier to get multiple earbuds connected. Hotel rooms are upping their outlet game, but I still manage to tangle cords on the desk if I'm not careful. And plugging in your phone, laptop, watch, AirPods, whatever it is, it all adds up to a lot of plug real estate. You can cut the chaos with the Anker Prime charging base. This one 150 watt charger allows you to use 2 USB-C and 1 USB-A ports at once. It's still compact enough for a tech pouch, so you can save space by bringing shorter cords. Since its extra long cable stretches to many wall outlets, you don't have to bring extra long cables to reach. 150 watts is enough to power a MacBook Pro 16-inch and an iPhone 17 at the same time. Depending on the port you use, you get 140, 100, or 22.5 watts of power at once. Power reduces when you use more than one port, but that still leaves 75 watts of power coming through the USB-C ports when you use both. If you use all 3, you'll get 135 watts from the USB-C port on the far left and 15 watts from the other USB-C and USB-A ports. All to say, that's plenty for your laptops, earbuds, and watch. Oh, and if you get an Anker Prime power bank, you can pop it on top to juice it up at the same time. You'll get anywhere from 60 to 150 watts of power out of it, depending on if you're using any of the other ports at the same time. The Prime power bank models vary, but you can recharge it in as little as 28 minutes, depending on the kind you have. You can save a lot of space if you don't need as much power though. The 45 watt Anker Nano is as tiny as the name suggests. And it knows what iPhone you have, so it adapts its charging style to optimize your battery. That feature only works on the latest models, but it works like this. When you first plug in your phone, it charges the first 20% at 45 watts fast charging speeds. That drops to 30 watts until your phone hits 80% power, then trickles down to 15 watts until you reach 100% or unplug it. The fun screen animations let you know that it's recognized your phone and what level of power it's putting out. If you're charging overnight, you can switch to care mode, which actively lowers temperature after the initial fast charging phase to reduce stress on the battery. And while it's already pretty small, we like that you can adjust the prongs to be at 90 or 180 degrees so that you can see the screen regardless of where the plug is that you're plugging it in. You navigate through the screens by tapping the top of the charger. It takes a little practice to get it right, but basically you wake it with a single tap, switch to care mode with a double tap, and flip the display by tapping it 3 times. The screen automatically turns off after a minute, but you can always tap it again to check the status of your battery. There's also an option to keep it on for 5 minutes instead. That's a lot more useful than the pucks that used to come with iPhones, which were about the same size, but it works outside of the Apple ecosystem too. Sometimes you just want to chill out after a long day of adventures. But what if your Airbnb doesn't have a big screen? Pack a projector. Wait, who has space for that in a travel backpack? We do. This mini projector from Aurzen is compatible with iOS, macOS, Android, and Windows. You can live the day's fun with a slideshow of your photos and videos, or binge some YouTube to chill out. Watch in landscape or portrait mode, and the screen auto-adjusts on the wall if you point it at any angle. While it's only 720p, it looks pretty clear at close distances. The farther you go, the less crispy it gets. However, considering the size of this thing, it's still pretty impressive. The 5,000 mAh battery lasts for an hour and a half, so you'll want to hang near a plug. We recommend connecting a Bluetooth speaker to the projector too, since the built-in speaker isn't very loud. All you need to do is mirror your phone or computer to the projector. However, that means streaming services like Netflix, HBO Max, and Hulu are blocked. There's ways around that if you're using a browser like Google Chrome, or Aurzen sells a cast play that works around it. It costs an extra $100 at the time of this video, but it might be worth it to access that content. All in, this may not be the cheapest projector, but it's definitely the tiniest. Your tech needs a home too, so we usually bring a pouch to keep things organized on a trip. It doesn't have to be huge, and it also doesn't have to be a dedicated tech pouch. But if your tech is together, you'll know where to find it when you need to charge your phone. If you use something small and slim like the ALPAKA flight pouch, you'll have what you need within reach on the flight. We use it for a battery bank, wall charger, a cord, AirPods, the AirFly, and a phone. That's about all it fits, but that's really all you need day to day. Everything else, from a travel adapter to the projector, can go in your travel backpack. The flight pouch comes with 2 straps that attach to the maglocks fasteners on the back. There's a wrist strap if you want to pull it out of your bag more easily, or a full-length crossbody strap to wear as a sling. We like using it to hang it from a seat back pocket on a flight. The recycled ripstop nylon is easy to grab out of your personal item bag whether or not you use a strap. It's water resistant and easy to wipe clean, and the YKK AquaGuard zipper protects your tech from moisture if your drink spills during turbulence. If you're using it as a sling, there's a slim pocket on the back for a passport, but it doesn't quite fit all the way, especially with travel tech already packed inside. There are also 2 slip pockets for cash in the center divider, and a zippered pocket on the back to lock down dongles and a short cord or cash and change. You'll need a tiny battery bank with a lot of power to fit inside of that pouch and still get you through the day. This little power bank is from INIU, a brand we're starting to see everywhere. It's not very expensive, and you get a lot of bang for your buck, and it comes in fun colors. The Carry P50E1 is roughly twice the size of an AirPods Pro case. That makes it small enough to fit into your pocket as long as you don't mind its bulky shape. If you do, stick it in your sling, pouch, or backpack instead. That's what I usually do because I'm most often carrying a bag of some sort during the day. You don't have to bring a separate cord, it has one right here. It serves as a small handle too, though I've managed to shake it loose from the connector a time or two, so I don't like to rely on it. You might want to use a longer cord and carry the bank in your pocket or sling if you're charging on the go, because the battery isn't MagSafe to stick to the back of your phone. On the other hand, the shorter included cable works just fine if you're taking a break and can set it down while you get more power. It has a 10,000 milliamp hour capacity, and the USB-C ports support fast charging at 45 watts. That'll be enough to keep your MacBook Air running, although we find it doesn't have enough oomph to actually recharge it. It works with everything else you'd need to charge throughout the day, like a phone and wireless earbuds, and also supports pass-through charging, so you can recharge it and something else at the same time. That's good since it does take about 2 hours to fully recharge the battery bank. You might as well use that time to also power something else like your phone. So that's the tech that we're bringing on our next trip. What gear can't you travel without? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next one.